Lord, y'all make me sick. Welcome to episode 12 of Sister-Cousins Candid Conversations. Today, we talking about back in the day.
Yeah, y'all remember that song, right?
I remember that song. Who's the artist? First of all, we do not own the rights to this music. Although it was a fly song, we don't own the rights to this music. What's his name?
His name was Ahmad. I used to love him. He's like, back in the day when I was just a little Negro, I looked up to my big bro baby. So when he went out with girls, I would go taking a long ride.
So you really like that song. Anywho, today's episode, we just reminiscing and talking about things back in the day. I don't know. It's just so many memories. I mean, just from a kid growing up. I remember summertime, you wake up super early in the morning, you go outside about 7 a.m. and you didn't come back until the street lights came on. That was probably about 8 p.m. or something. As long as you had your black self back on that porch before the street lights came on, you was good. Your parents didn't know where you had been all day long. You could have robbed a bank, you could have held up a grocery store, or you could have killed somebody. As long as you're back on that porch, it was all good.
But they didn't want to know where you were, because if you tried to come in the house, they'd be like, if you come in this house one more time, you're going to stay in for the rest of the day. So you be out
either in or out. You can't stop slamming my door. I think the only time we can come in is when it was time to eat lunch. You ate breakfast and you went out, you came in for lunch, and that was it. Don't come back in here no more, where you gonna stay. That was the good old days. Isn't that crazy though? Back in the day, you can leave out the house. Your kid is gone. You have no idea where they are. Now you worried about if somebody gonna snatch little Johnny.
That's when you had community. Everybody knew you, so it wasn't like you would get in, trouble. If you did something bad, they was gonna tear your butt up anyway.
Yeah, you was gonna get it from whoever, Miss Mary on around the corner, and you was gonna get it when you got home. Man, that's but kids don't,
the good old days.
Yeah, kids don't play outside anymore. They on them TVs and them games or whatever. I don't know that it's.
I got one that he calls me all day long at work to say, Mommy, can we get on our computer? Mommy, can we get on our computer? Mommy, can we get on our computer? Go outside and play. Get bit by a bug. Break something. Dang.
Eat some dirt. Make a mud pie somehow.
I don't know. My kids are not computer. They'll go outside. They're the ones that like to play in the dirt, get on the swing, ride their bike.
That's who their daddy is.
I don't feel comfortable in this day and age letting them go out by themselves. So if they're outside, a parent has to be out there with them. Like, I don't let them go play by themselves at night. Even in my backyard, which is fenced, we had like one side of it's fenced, but the other side is open. So I still don't feel comfortable even letting them out there when a parent is not out there. And that's sad.
Sure, it's different. You can't even go outside in your own yard and play. We used to get wet up. Turn that water hose, the same water hose you got wet up with was the same water hose you got some water. You ain't, you don't need a white. Go back outside, turn on that hose.
But it was the best water ever. It was always cold. How was that water always cold? It was so
the water was good.
We could have been drinking bugs and cola.
Well, I don't know. That Gary, Indiana water though. Ooh, that was some good water.
I'm just saying, it's something about whenever I go home to visit, I literally stand in front of my best friend's faucet for like at least a good 15 minutes drinking water because it's so good. I'm sorry,
Michigan
water that tastes better than Gary, Indiana water. A lot of people won't agree, but that's some bomb water. Listen, when we go, I ain't even gonna lie. When we go, we fill up containers and we bring them. Back home.
Look, now y'all special for that.
Girl, that's some good water. It ain't nothing like it. But
it was good. And then the penny. Listen, we had some food stamps and brown $1 things. Boy, you had $1. You know how much candy and stuff you can get from the dollar store from the penny candy store with $1. You had them little strawberry and them little lemon cookies. You got a pickle, sunflower seeds, now and later, them little chews. Oh my goodness.
For days.
and And don't get lucky and your mama give you one of them $5 food stamps, baby.
$5 was purple, right? I think $5 was purple and 10 was green. You eat candy for a month. Girl, speaking of candy, y'all remember Halloween? Joanna, you may not, but Auntie Una would take me and Donnie trick-or-treating. We had pillow cases full, full pillow cases. We had to pour out all the candy on the bed. We had to go through each piece. She'd be like, one for you, one for me. One for you. She'd pick out like what she like or whatever. But man, that was some, man, back in the day, that was some good old actors. Another thing I remember when my mom and them used to be going out, she used to be a bartender, but when they go out with their friends or they going to work, I'd be like, Mama, bring me something back. It didn't matter if it was a half-eaten sandwich, a bag of chips, a blow pop, as long as she brought something, and it was almost like that was their permission to go out and leave you at home if they brought you something back. So when she walked in that door, it didn't matter what time of morning or night it was, he was whatever I brought you back. We'd be happy as hell with a half-eaten sandwich.
But like, so my favorite memories of back in the day, like, you know, I grew up in the housing projects or whatever, so I didn't have any friends, and I'm an only child. So my mother, she used to come outside and she used to tie like an extension cord or a telephone cord to the other end of the railing, and she would turn jump rope for me so I could play jump rope.
And do what you had to do.
Right.
And then the housing projects I grew up in, like, I guess the kids weren't scared of nothing. So, you know, we would literally, if you lived in the area that had the low houses, they had the roof, we would literally be hopping roofs until somebody told on me. So,
I ain't having a roof. I don't remember that
we used to go, like LaWanda said, in the summertime. Now she used to. I ain't never been no early riser. I've been trying to sleep as late as possible my whole life. But yeah, used to go outside and used to be gone all day. Used to go in other people's house and eat, play, everything. And your parents weren't scared that something was gonna happen to you and they weren't looking for you. That was one of the things I missed. Like Joanna said, you had community. You know what I'm saying? So even if your mama didn't know where you were, somebody else's mama knew where you was. Mm-hmm. And tell your mama where you were, and everybody knew you were safe. You weren't worried about. And I'm sure they had a lot of the things that's going on now going on in. It just wasn't as prevalent because we used to be gone all 6 blocks over in a whole nother neighborhood.
Right, you're right, yeah. But another thing I remember in high school was sock hops. Oh, the DE posse. I think the owner or whoever was Ivan Woodard or Ivan somebody. They would come, it was this little, they would go all over the city, this little group of guys, they was like little music entertainers, DJs or whatever. And they would come and set up in the gym or wherever. We had like, in Horse Mill, we had so many different gyms, but they would come in this one gym and you'd be dancing and juking and all that kind of stuff. You'd be sweaty and musty as hell by the time it was time to go back to class. Your hair was all puffy and looking crazy, but there was some good old days. Nothing is like it used to be. It is so crazy. Nothing is like it used to be.
It is weird because I don't have like the same kind of memories that now. I have those memories when I used to come visit y'all for the summer, but like I grew up overseas, so we didn't have sock off dances. We didn't have that. But I do remember I grew up in Vicenza, Italy, and it was on a military post. So I do remember it's like literally when we got up in the morning, you were outside. Literally, we got up, made our bed, ate breakfast, and you were outside until street lights came on. I do remember that. I remember that we would, ride our bike all around what they called the economy, which was just the Italians, their houses and stuff like that. I mean, we would be going somewhere everywhere. Sometimes I would ride my bike on base. I mean, it was a pretty long way away, but it's like never once was I like scared or thought anything was going to happen or anything like that. So I do remember some of those memories. Now, a lot of memories that I have, my mom was not the one to like let me go spend a night at people's house or do anything like that.
We didn't do that either.
I remember like things that she used to do for us, like Easter. Like I was never one to get like a quote unquote Easter basket, but what my mom would do is decorate our table, and we always had like an Easter egg hunt, either outside or inside of the house. So I remember, being super excited, when that was coming up, or getting my new dress. And so I have memories and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, there's things that we do now that I probably would never do with my kids. Like, sending them outside and telling them to come back when street lights come on, that would never happen now. Ever.
Man, Dinah was queens and princesses for Easter. We had 2 Easter dresses, one for the morning service and one for the evening. We had Easter baskets, all kind of food. I mean, all kind of just too much stupid stuff. We just had everything or whatever. It was just too much.
My favorite part at Easter, of course, was, you got the 2 dresses, because you got one for the daytime, one for the morning service, one for the evening service. But one of my favorite memories of Easter growing up is Auntie Barbara and John Talley, because they were always in charge of the Easter program at my church. And so I just used to love like how we would go, and they were like, we had these specific songs that the kids would sing, for the Easter program in the evening. And then everybody would get up. They had a whole little stage, and you get up there, and you say a little speech, and you thought you was something. Yeah, that was some of my favorite memories.
I was always nervous. You gotta remember your words. You gotta remember your words. That was too much pressure on the kids.
You were little, you only got, maybe a 3-word Easter speech, like Jesus wept, amen, or Jesus lived, amen. Like as you got older, your Easter speech got longer.
Ooh, you had an essay. You had to remember word for word. It was just like this. I'm like this. I know I gotta earn this dress. These dresses I got. Pressure.
Those dresses, you had not the shoes you had.
You had some. Let's not talk about shoes. You had them old black and white Payless ducks. What they call them shoes?
Okay, first of all, those shoes did not come from Payless. They was white, and they did not come from Payless. But I hated them, and I lost them. I lost one of them on the way home from school. Actually, I didn't lose it. I threw it in the woods, and I thought, okay, since I lost one, I ain't gonna have to wear no more, right? Nah, bruh.
Shirley ain't got some more.
My grandma Shirley went and bought another pair. Those shoes. But here's the killer. Right now, if I had a pair, I would rock them bad boys. I know the perfect outfit for a pair of those Oxfords right now.
They'd be real slick with some black slacks, wouldn't they?
Baby.
Yeah, crazy.
But back then, they was not the lick. They was not the lick.
Because you was forced to wear them. You was forced to wear them. Now, Joanna, you might remember this. Remember, we got pictures of this. Back in the day, Granddaddy, they would cut up some watermelon and put you outside in the backyard, and the damn flies get all over you with the watermelon dripping all down your yard.
I can't remember that.
The flies eating your watermelon faster than you.
We didn't mind sharing that.
But you can't get no good watermelon like that no more. Listen, I ain't had no good watermelon like that since back in the day. No matter, I've lived in 3 states, I can't get it.
You get watermelon at the supermarket. You got to get the guy at the side of the road that come from out of state.
Somewhere. Something.
You get the good watermelon.
It's this older guy who is on the side of the road. When I'm picking mine up from dialysis and we stop and we get his watermelons, they like $10. They huge. Yeah. But baby, I tell you, it's reminiscent of the days when we used to sit in the backyard because they just so good. They juicy, they sweet.
He gets red. Yeah. And you got to get the one with the seeds. The seedless ones is not as sweet as the ones with the seeds, though.
That's because watermelons are made from seeds. So if they don't have any seeds, then they were made in a factory. Okay? Hey.
I don't know about no factory, but I don't see them growing a watermelon in a factory.
They're genetics modified. Exactly. How do you have watermelons without seeds when watermelons grow from seeds? So if they don't have seeds, they're genetically modified. Come on now. Come on.
I believe they're genetically modified, but they ain't growing in no factory food.
The same with
these ain't no bits and no widgets.
The same with those seedless grapes everybody be eating. Grape seedless.
I get all my grapes grow on the vine, but I get all my stuff with seeds in it. It just tastes so much better. I
Some of
don't
my
know.
favorite memories growing up. So when I was growing up, we had my high school and my junior high school had an open campus, which meant you could go off campus for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't allowed to go off campus for lunch. But I went off campus for lunch. So in junior high school, it was this spot called the Chuck Wagon, right?
The Chuck Wagon, that's what it is. Yeah.
So
I don't know where it was, but it was good.
Listen, so here I'm standing in line at the Chuck Wagon one day, minding my business, chit-chatting with my friends, and who at the stoplight? My grandma Shirley. Ducking down, trying not to be seen, because it would have been probably my last day on this earth because I wasn't allowed to go off campus. But I needed them French fries, and I wanted to be with my friends. So we went every day. Here's the killer. I ain't really had no lunch money because, I used to get a free lunch. So somebody had to buy my lunch every day.
Who bought your lunch? You sound like you want to tell us something.
I don't know. Somebody I ran around with brought my lunch. And then the other thing was, but we used to go to the Chuck Wagon to get our lunch, but we never missed them pizza days in the cafeteria.
Jello pudding, pop, pizza, peanut butter cookies. Oh my gosh.
So let's start off with some of the things that you miss about back in the day.
I miss them Jello pudding pops, 25 cents. We had them pizza days. There was the peanut butter cookies, and it was something else that was super good that you eat at the thing. Who?
The cinnamon rolls at school.
Them three things right there. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, them Jello pudding pops was on my list too. I was like, man, they need to bring them things.
They had the chocolate one and the vanilla ones.
Girl, them chocolate ones. Look, them Jello pudding pops was the bomb. I don't care what.
Where you at, Mr. Cosby?
I don't even like Jello, but them pudding pops, girl, I can eat a whole box of them. A whole box of them. Some of the other things I had on my list are some of the things that I miss from back in the day. I miss Blockbuster. That used to be like a family outing for us. Like literally.
Video. Wow, what a difference.
We would go in there, you would go in your section, everybody would pick a movie, then we would go home, get our little popcorn and sit down and watch our VHS.
Don't be late. Don't be late taking that movie back. Cost your arm.
I know. I miss the Blockbusters. Other things that I miss, like back in the day, the cassette players or the boom boxes. I remember I had both. You had the little Walkman, and then you had the boom boxes you had to pick up and carry with you everywhere you went.
They call them beats these days.
I know. Yeah, we used to have, I can remember like walking down the street with this big old box in my hair, and you had to have your mixtape now. You had a mixtape for every situation you were going through, whether it was a breakup mixtape, a get you pumped mixtape.
My favorite ever was, remember when you used to be listening to the radio trying to record the song, so you right there with like hitting record, you hit stop, so somebody ain't talking over your song.
You had to press them two buttons and hold them down until you.
Wow.
Those are some days.
Call the radio station and dedicate a song to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Another thing that I miss, which is really funny, I miss having my pagers back in the day. Girl, I was the bomb.
911.
Hold on. Somebody paging me. Let me go find a phone. Girl, I thought I was special. Look, your phone just beep, 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 beep.
Page phones was on every corner.
Mama. Nobody but your mama. It wasn't nobody but your mama.
Nobody calling you for real, but it's like your phone just blowing up. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, hold on. I got to go get this.
I remember I had a turquoise pager, a purple pager. Man, that was just like the new cell phone. How now you try to get the newest phone. You had to get the newest color or the brightest color or whatever. That was fun back in the day. And remember when people started figuring out how to type messages, like, you turn it upside down and it means whatever. That's crazy.
So yeah, them pages was a bomb. And the last thing I had on the list were, two other things I had. I miss Atari. Now, Atari used to be my game. all this new stuff they got now, I don't know how to work it. But Atari, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man.
I got all that. You come over my house and play that.
Yeah, those used to be my games right there. Well, we would spend all day on that Atari. Joystick just
Mario Brothers.
Joystick got the joystick.
I used to like the original Nintendo. Like I remember the original Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, and Duck. What was that? Quack Duck, whatever you used to shoot. You had a gun and you could shoot the duck or something. I don't remember. And Tetris, because that was my game. But like, let me see. Some of the things I miss the most, like from back in the day, is definitely like I love like what Joanna said about like Blockbuster. Cause so my thing was on Saturday night. We always used to go to the grocery store on Saturday. You know, growing up, we went to the mall every weekend. Every weekend. Either the mall, village, and then we would like, you know, we would do the whole Blockbuster thing, but we always got like all these chips like Doritos and hot chips and popcorn. And
it's a wonder we ain't big as hell because we had all kind of. I tell you what, Shirley Ann Clark, she made sure the house was stacked. We had from pickles to sodas to juice to cookies, chips,
ice cream,
Twinkies, everything.
And so
everything.
I used to love Saturday night. Saturday night was just the joint, you know, and we had so much fun. And you don't realize it then that this is like the best thing ever. So I'll say we have instituted one of those things in my house. So my kids have movie night every Friday night. Every Friday night is movie night. We pop popcorn on the stove. They either order a pizza or they put one in the oven. They got snacks and all that. So we have movie night every Friday night. Thank goodness for the Fire Stick, okay? So we do that. So I love that. And then like some other things, like I just miss being able to go and be and not have to be worried about constantly looking over your shoulder like something's gonna happen. Just being outside and being free. It was just the best. I mean, you was just free and you was living and loving your life and you didn't even realize how great it was. I want to be free like that again. I just really want to be that free.
It ain't gonna never happen again. I got one thing about to blow y'all mind. Do y'all remember, Joanna, I don't know if y'all had this overseas, but we had the party line. You can call one number and everybody in the city was on the phone. That's how that was your that was even before MySpace, I think. That was your little hookup. That was your little dating game. You would call on the party line and you end up talking to whoever across the city or whatever.
No, I don't know. We didn't have that overseas. We didn't have a party line.
I know we had it. I don't think I ever used it. And so like dating for me was going to church. Cause that's
yes, you did. We was be on the phone at Granddaddy's house on the party line. At least I was. You know, I always had my
I wasn't. My first boyfriend was at church. His name was Richard Crockett. So I like dating for me was going to church, literally. Everybody in my church, all the kids, like if we was all the same age, basically we was all dating each other. I wasn't on the party line. I was.
Okay. I got another number you remember. What was that number we called a weatherman? What was that phone number? Mercantile National Bank time.
933-9000.
Mercantile National Bank time. 10.
Oh, let's see if this is work.
The current temperature is 63. Yeah, you ain't have to turn on no news. You just called that weather line.
Calling that number to see if it worked. It don't work no more. Oh wait, you remember the storyline? So remember you were supposed to get off the phone, but you ain't want to get off the phone. So you would call the storyline so your friend could call you back and you would just be able to answer with call waiting so the house phone wouldn't ring.
Well, you know, I had my own phone line, I think from age of 12 on. And I remember when I used to get on punishment, my mama would be like, unplug that phone. She would take the phone, but you know, we had that little bat phone. Me and my sister Tanasha, we had that bat phone up under the mattress. And so when the phone beeps, you be scared to click over because you're like, I know that's there. I know it's my mom. I know she's trying to test me. You be like, hello? What you doing? Girl, I thought you was my mama.
I remember one time, I don't remember what she got in trouble for, but her punishment was she couldn't use the phone. I don't even think she got a whooping. She just couldn't use the phone. This fool sat down around the house one day and wrote telephone on like 50 pieces of paper and then taped them all over her clothes.
Lies. I don't remember.
You was hurt, weren't you?
It's such a shame that kids don't get to experience how good life was back then, like the innocence of life or whatever. It's like now everything is just so it's so crazy. I don't know. It would be so sad, like, you know, the kids just don't get a chance to experience what we experienced, and
they never enjoy the pleasure it is of slamming the phone down in somebody else. Like
versus hitting end, huh? It's a different hangout when you hit end.
Slamming it down, huh?
Yeah, them the good old days. Do people even have phones anymore?
I got a house phone.
Do you?
I have and the only reason I have a house phone is my children just got cell phones, which the only reason they got cell phones is because they were gone for an extended period of time this summer, because they still wouldn't have cell phones. And so I got a house phone because of, you know, COVID-19, kids being out of school, still having to work. And so my kids were required to call me every hour. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. We got this. Why am I whispering? Anyway, when we got this phone, they were so annoying. I mean, they were just so, like, they would ask me for people number. Can I call so-and-so?
Hello.
Can I call
hello. If you call me one more time, I'm gonna block you. I told you I'm at work. I'll call you back.
Leave them babies alone.
Okay, TT. And then they call right back. I said, girl, what?
Baby. But then wait, it don't be the same person calling. It'll be a different one of them calling. But they'll
not me. The same one calling me.
And then, you know, they have cell phones now, but their cell phones are still very regulated. Like, so I control what they can see on their cell phone, what they can go to. They have their phone locks for screen time at a certain time, so they can only text or talk to me or their dad at that time. Mm-hmm. And so my daughter, she likes to text me, sitting next to me, to say, hi, mommy, look at me.
She's like,
y'all, I don't even know. Y'all don't feel my pain. Y'all don't feel my pain. Okay.
That's funny.
But it does come in handy when you don't want to, when you done called your child name 3 times and they ain't heard you. Oh, okay. Bring me some water.
Y'all remember that? You be outside on that porch. Hey, come in here, give me some water, or come change the remote, change the channel. It's like, you called me from all the way outside to come in the house to change
all the way out. All the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, I used to love that. So one of the other things, like growing up, when I was in school, elementary school, my mother every year got a trophy every year for Parent of the Year. Every year. Y'all, I never got no trophies in elementary school. But my mama got a trophy because she would go on.
You ain't applying yourself, Smokey. You ain't applying yourself.
She was applying all the field trips, right? And she would bring this huge, you know the brown paper bag you get at the grocery store that they put all your groceries in? My mom would bring one of them full of food. Because somebody kid wasn't going to have no lunch. That was her mentality. Somebody kid wasn't going to have no lunch. So she had enough lunch for them.
For everybody.
And me. And her. And about 6 other kids.
What about field trips? Y'all remember the escapades? The Nutcracker to Chicago when you take them trips? You ain't going to. Where was you living at, girl?
That costs money. We had that kind of money.
So let's talk about some of the must-have items that you had to have while you were growing up. Some of the things on my list that I had is that I used to love and be obsessed with the fanny packs. Literally, I had a color for every outfit that I had. I was color coordinating them fanny packs. I love the fanny packs.
What was your favorite color?
My favorite color has always been red. But red and purple were probably the ones that I most use.
And remember, you used to wear them fanny packs with them old noisy jogging suits we used to have on, the ones that. I had a lot of jogging suits that was noisy.
You could hear a mile away. You couldn't sneak up in nobody with them suits on.
No matter how you. That's funny. Yeah. What else you got?
Another thing I had was jelly shoes. I had all colors, like literally white, clear, red, purple, turquoise. So I had all kind of colors.
You was cute, but them feet was stinking and sweaty, huh?
No, look. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, whenever you took them shoes off, your feet stank, and then they had little lines across your toes and stuff.
Had like little imprints on it. Another thing I had was denim. I was obsessed with denim jackets, shirts, pants, hair bows. Like I was denim from head to toe.
Gosh.
Yeah,
wow, that's when denim was real denim. It was stiff back then. You moved the wrong way. You cut yourself.
I know, right? Wait, remember how everybody used to starch the crap out of their jeans, and it used to be like super sharp, and you can wash them, and they still had that crease.
It'd be white down the knee.
They can stand up on their own.
They don't make jeans like that no more. Jeggings and leggings.
What the hell is leggings?
Jeans and leggings. So that ain't no more denim. It ain't really denim.
And some people, let's just go ahead and do a PSA. Do not need to wear those. Okay, you're not built for that, baby. Just because your size don't mean you should buy it.
Just put a real long shirt over.
That
is funny.
I had was like the jelly bracelets, the all different color bracelets.
Oh yeah, all them color.
I always had mood rings, a whole bunch of bracelets and mood rings. At least two on each finger. I love me some mood rings. For shoes, Reebok's high top shoes are like my favorites. Even to this day, I still love like Reebok classics, just the plain white Reebok classics. But them
it was always comfortable.
That was my shoe. I love them shoes. And then my last one was them Jordache jeans. Boy, I thought I was looking fine as all get out of them Jordache jeans.
You didn't have no Gloria Vanderbilts?
I had no Gloria Vanderbilts. I had that and what was it called? Chic or Cheek? Do you remember those jeans? CHIC or something? Those are the only two that I had.
Oh, chick jeans. Yeah, chick jeans. Yeah, chick jeans. It was called chick.
Yeah,
that was way before Baby Fat and all them other brands. FUBU.
Right.
Remember them? What?
I said she was fly. And then remember those, like, okay, and this style is coming back because those jeans used to be real high-waisted.
Yeah.
And my favorite pair used to have buttons all down the front. It didn't have no zipper. It was just buttons.
Butterfly jeans. Yeah, butterfly.
You can roll it over. Like you can wear it different ways. You can button it all the way at the top. You can flap the flaps over.
Dang, style has come a long way, honey.
A long way. A long way. Some of the other things that I had, like during those times. So I was I love to read books. So it's like I can remember reading the Babysitter Club books, anything by like Judy Blume, the Sweet Valley High, all of those books. I used to be all into that. I was all over that.
I think that's Nene's favorite. But that reminds me of the book fair. We used to have a book fair every year, and OMG, I was sweating my mama for the money for the book fair, honey. They used to sell them little Care Bears and all that. You got candy at the book fair, all kind of stuff. They sent them sheets home, and they had all the prices of the books or whatever, honey. I was always locked and loaded, and had an attitude if I didn't get no money for the book fair.
You can get what you want.
I have it twice a year, and I never, ever in my entire time ever got to buy books at the book fair. And I was thinking about that is such a strong memory for me. I could not wait till my kids started school so I could send them money for the book fair. And then I wonder if my mom didn't have no money for these books for this book fair. This crap too expensive.
Yeah, they was taking advantage of cheerings.
Yeah.
Taking
Another thing
advantage.
that I had that most people, I don't know, did anybody have a water bed? Like I had
Who?
a water bed growing up.
Oh, now you was fancy. Y'all had that military money. We ain't had no water beds, honey. I did have a queen size bed, but it wasn't no water bed.
I had a queen size water bed. Why? I don't know. And I had it for a long.
Oh,
I'm like one of the last people to have one. Because I was like, we ain't buying you a new bed. You better sit with that water bed that you got. But it was such a weird thing. Like, I mean, you had all this, you couldn't move on it because it's like every time you move, you would just like float. And then it was so cold. It was so cold. Like I would have to put a blanket down over it because if you just slept with a sheet on it, you was about to freeze that night because the water's cold. You had to put like a blanket on it, sleep on top of the blanket with some extra covers on there to stay warm at night. But yeah, I had a water bed for a long.
did your back hurt? It was just a bad thing that your back would hurt.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, no support. That's why my back jacked up now. No support whatsoever. I was like, who invented this thing? Who and why?
Lawanda, your mother and Uncle Mickey had a water bed, remember?
They had one, but I ain't had one yet.
And then you had to like every so often you would have to let the water out and then fill it back up. And it was a hot mess. I don't know who created that and why, but I sure had to have one. I begged my parents for that water bed and I got one. And I kept that sucker for a long time. Another thing that I remember back in the day too is also when we used to go to the drive-in movie theaters. Did you?
Yes, I love.
And I missed them. I remember they had the little thing, and the ones I went to, you had food, so they had a little tray they stick on your window, and you didn't have to get out the car. You had this bill.
I bet it's one thing y'all don't miss about the drive-in.
What?
Them doggone mosquitoes. Ooh, the mosquitoes eat your butt alive. Do y'all remember taffy apple sales? Oh my goodness.
Anytime they had one of them little things that they sent home that you had to sell to your family and friends, my mama said nope.
We never do it either. No, we never sell it either.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you what, when my kids bring that stuff home, you know what I tell them? Well, what's the prize list? Let's look at the prize list. Okay, you see the prize list? Pick
we gonna buy that.
Go buy that. We ain't finna sell this.
Yep, that's what I did with Zaria. I'm about to, first of all, you harassing the same people every quarter because it was something new. They got these kids. Stop soliciting these kids trying to, can you buy? Did you just ask me to buy something? I hate when my coworkers or whatever. I don't buy stuff. I can't do it.
I love when my coworkers bring to work. Let me tell them what I say. I was like, y'all know I'm a human resource manager, right? You know you cannot solicit and sell things on government property, right? I'm gonna need y'all.
Y'all better support them babies.
No,
I don't do that.
Support them children.
It ain't the cheering, it's the school.
It be the mamas, them parents out there bothering their co-workers and friends about that old raggedy stuff. The cookies ain't even the size they use. Let me tell you about them little Girl Scouts. Let me tell you about them little heifers. They be out there on the corner hustling you at the grocery store, and I be like, okay, let me go ahead and give my money. Girl Scout cookies, $7-8 a box now. Then you open it, the cookie this big.
And give you a whole roll of them.
But it's only this big. They used to be way bigger than that.
Well, let me tell you, my baby just started selling stuff for his school, and this year we was like, oh, we're gonna let him sell or whatever. She sold like 14 boxes of cookies to like, different family members or whatever. We were so proud of him. So we took his little money up there, for the PTA. Girl, these people was selling like 114 boxes. I was like, oh, so it's like that. I'm thinking it's just like a little kid thing. No, they selling like hundreds of boxes of cookies. And it's like, man, my little 14 boxes wasn't nothing.
It'd be a whole competition.
A whole competition. I was like, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah. Now you know. Mm-hmm. Well.
So what are some things that you guys were obsessed with back then? My number one obsession back in the day was Michael Jackson. But this was before Michael Jackson started changing. That off the wall.
How dare you talk about Mike?
No, I'm sorry. The real Mike, before all the changes, that was the one that I was obsessed with.
She said the real Mike.
My birthday was yesterday. right? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Oh no.
His birthday just passed.
I was so obsessed with Michael Jackson. I had the glove, I had a replica jacket, I had a huge poster up on my bed. I had the Michael Jackson Barbie doll. Like, I was
Jackson.
Which version of Michael was the doll? The black version or the white version? The male or the female?
Look, hey, don't you say nothing bad about Michael. Don't you say nothing bad about Michael.
I love our hometown brother. You know, Mike was a little, you know.
Say nothing bad about Michael. But yeah, that Michael Jackson, that I think Off the Wall was like my favorite record from him, and I love it. Back in the day, it was him. It was Prince. Why I let my parents let me listen to Prince, because he was not anybody a child should be listening to back in the day. I listen to his stuff now. I can't even listen to his stuff now as an adult. I was like, what in the world? And we was just singing and dancing.
And don't forget Whitney.
We used to be allowed to watch The Golden Girls, okay? No child should have been watching The Golden Girls. There was nothing but underlying sexual innuendo in The Golden Girls. They're my girls now. Don't get it twisted. I love me some Blanche Devereaux. But
Birds of a feather.
Watching that. What you think? Your mama.
Blanche Devereaux. That's funny. I mean, what we used to watch? We used to watch The Golden Girls, 227, The Jeffersons, who?
Amen.
The Cosby Show. Different Strokes. Who?
A Different World.
A Different World.
Oh, what was that? The Facts of Life. What was this show with Nail Carter called?
Nail?
No. She had what was called Nail.
Give me a break.
Give me a break.
Yes. Dang, it was the good old days.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was obsessed with anything like my obsession back then. I really love being a kid. I love being a kid. Me and Luan. Oh, that's not true. Okay, so my mother had what she used to call a hi-fi. Y'all know what a hi-fi is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, listen. The hi-fi was this huge radio player that had a fake light in it.
Yeah.
And so I was obsessed with the hi-fi. And I used to just I love the sound of playing a record and putting the needle on the album.
How it starts. Yeah, the noise how it starts. Mm-hmm.
I love that. And so I used to play. I remember we used to live in this one house and my mom worked midnights. And so the guy next door, he stopped her one morning. He was like, so what's wrong with her? And she was like, what are you talking about? He said, something wrong with her. Every night the girl got the blues. She just be playing the song. And she be playing them and singing them at the top of her lungs. I just love old school music, the music that my mom and them listen to. Now, this is so, I don't know if you remember this, Luanda, but I think I told y'all this before. When Marvin Gaye died, my mama and my auntie Bam was crying hysterically, right? So I thought it was somebody in our family. So I was crying too. I was devastated. I was like, ugly crying, because they was ugly crying. Come find out we ain't know this man, y'all. It was Marvin Gaye. They ain't never known Marvin Gaye. But they were straight devastated. I could not relate until Tupac died. I was ugly crying when Tupac died.
I don't think I've ever cried when any celebrity died.
I cried when Tupac died.
I think I just always in utter shock, like I can't believe it.
I cried when Tupac died, and then I was super sad when Whitney Houston died. Like I was really sad when Whitney died. And so yeah, but other than that,
well, speaking of what I had to have a poster. I had my whole room I had every Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige. I mean, who I had to have posters. It was all over. They were all over my wall. I had to have those or whatever. But as a kid, the music I was listening to, I shouldn't have been, because my mama was playing Betty Wright, Millie Jackson. No grown up should listen to Millie Jackson.
Hey,
Huh?
Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, all them needs to thank Millie Jackson.
Millie Jackson, baby. So I was listening to that kind of music growing up, honey. And so, I mean, my favorite genre of music are the 70s and the 90s. I love anything from the 70s and anything from the 90s. The best. Those are the two best eras for me. I was born in the 70s and I grew up, and coming up in the 90s or whatever. So those are my two favorite genres or eras of music.
And that's funny, because I tell people all the time, I can remember the lyrics to every 90s rap song ever, but don't ask me what I went in the kitchen for 2 minutes ago, because I can't tell you. I have no idea. My memory ain't Yeah, so, but I mean, I just think that when we're kids, we're in such a hurry to grow up. We want to be grown so bad, not realizing that this is literally the best moments of our life right here. And you need to enjoy being able to run outside in the sprinkler, playing, jumping over railings, flips, double dutch in the middle of the street.
Hopscotch,
dodgeball, kickball, all of those things, and just enjoy being a kid, because it changes so quickly. And so that's one of the things that, for me, when my kids ask for, toys and things, I enjoy wanting to still buy it, because I'm glad they still want to play with toys. I'm glad when they still want to go outside and ride their bike. Like I went for a bike ride yesterday with Maxwell. Maxwell's 4. So I enjoyed that stuff. I love it. And so I just say to all the parents out there, get out there and help your kids have a childhood that one day they want to remember about back in the day.
And on that note, I think that would just take us right on out. So thank you guys. Peace and hair grease.
Bye-bye.